It's election season once again, and whether you and your neighbor are voting for Labour or you're about to grab your broom and sweep them out, the Star, as always, is here to deliver top-class coverage of this election season. I'm your host, Davina, and this is Campaign Chronicles, where we break down all the happenings that are surrounding the elections. Joining me today is Jaevion Nelson, Public Affairs commentator. Hi, Jaevion.
Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, let's start here. From Brogard coming to Parliament, and we see the green clerks come outside, peep out outside. We knew it was election day.
Right.
We knew it was time to call the election, all right? And then everybody was, excited. It's time. And then the Gleaner posted a photo of Audley Shaw sleeping. And everybody went wild because how dare Audley Shaw sleep in Parliament? I, for one, do not believe he was sleeping. To be fair, Andrew was reading out the 9 resolutions, and they were long, they were a little boring, they were tedious. So I'm sure someone did almost one drop of sleep too.
Yeah, it was very long. I kept wondering if this really makes sense, if him couldn't find a shot away from it. And he was going very fast, by the way, and it feel very long.
And me even feel like him did all hoarse at one point. Honestly, I was like,
can
you all give him a little water? Almost everybody contesting this year have a dub. Almost everybody. Who don't have no dub yet?
Late.
Very late to the party. So I think Lisa Hanna was the first out of the blocks with dubs. She did a Southeast St. Anne original song. And then Shren did Girl. And everybody was like, Lisa. And then I think, who was next? Brogard did a Clark's one. I heard a Javelani Clark's.
Yeah, there was a Javelani Clark's very early, but there was a Green Light Brogard. There's quite a lot. But Nesta might have actually been the first because I think he had something from Vegas from quite some time now.
Really?
Yeah, man. I heard it quite a while on, I think, Nationwide or somewhere.
And I heard Tova Hamilton has a Charlie Black one, and I really enjoyed that one because she's from Trelawney, and I really enjoyed that one. So basically,
enough.
Andrew himself have an EP, like him have like 10. So how do you rank the dubs? Who is leading right now?
Well,
in terms of person and the party.
Well, right now, it's kind of difficult because I feel like I've lost track of so many because some people have 3 and more. But personally, where I'm concerned, I personally feel like the JLP is leading. I feel like they have more catchy tunes in terms of the kind of dancehall song that I prefer, right? So I kind of represent Badman dancehall. I like the Badman kind of dancehall song them. So the Massacre song them and them kind of thing there. Green Light Brogard remains my top favorite. PNP has some real catchy tunes, like some easy one. And interestingly, one of the first ones that PNP dropped by Mark Golding, which Mark said, draw off your broom, sweep them out. I feel like that is a really good one, but it needs some work. If you go on like a studio, fix up, and come back on the scene and it have a little bit more vibe. Speaking
of work, the other day I was on social media and I heard, Dovey Magnum ball out. Peter.
That one is an epic fail, I think.
Philip Caldwell. And social media people did ball out, that they didn't like it. And what do you think about that though?
Yeah, I feel like that was a failure. I think that the words weren't translated properly to fit the politics, and a lot of people kept saying this reminded them of Chosen when Chosen it kind of redo the song as well. So you kind of listen to it and you still listen to the other thing. And I think Lisa Hanna give it a template of how do you actually take a song and fix it.
Next up, the JPP, the only party that has put out a manifesto so far, and albeit a manifesto that we were really looking at like and then they withdrew from the elections. But what did you think about the manifesto? Especially the part where they're going to pay police like $600,000.
I mean, it just never made no sense.
Jamaica is going to be a kingdom. And I wanted to be queen, committed all. I said, yeah, my time now. Well, we're going to stop paying water bills and water barely in the pipe, so that did really make sense.
Well, true.
They're going to wipe out the debt. I think they must still do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was preparing to go and be like a policeman and thing because, $650 a month as a start, not really too bad. And because I have a degree, maybe I get a little bit more. So I could have bruff, But I feel like it just never makes sense. But I feel like they knew what they were doing. I feel like them know so there's an audience for that kind of outlandish kind of thing. People who not necessarily going to interrogate whether or not them make sense, but people who just excited. And interestingly, I had tweeted and I said, don't take them very lightly because I feel like them know what them are doing. I mean, if fake news gets so much traction, why wouldn't they get traction? And then I saw somebody, I think yesterday or Saturday, saying their neighbor or something like that complaining that them sorry them drop out because them that look for vote for them, and it really upset them and that kind of thing. But the ideas never make sense. But I feel like we've gotten to that stage where our parties quite often put out big outlandish ideas, some which don't make sense and don't look workable. And we don't get much details about it, and then when them come in office, them tell us, well, we decide say it can't work, and so we had to abort mission. And yesterday a big buzz online and stuff was around like the PNPs, because people were posting bits and pieces from their manifesto. Some things which look really good, and then some things that don't look really good. Lots of concession being given here, there, and everywhere. So if you're a nurse, you can get a concession, and maybe finally buy your range, because you get a 20% off and stuff like that. But I feel like the JPP, them have to wheel and come again, right?
I think they should be ready for the next election.
They should
and
be.
I am very interested to see what they will present at that time.
More kingdoms.
More kingdoms, because I want to be queen. Are you looking forward to the manifestos? Because I know a lot of people are saying, we're tired of the dub, them, we're ready to see the manifestos.
I'm looking forward to the manifestos. I kind of look forward for more dub as well, so I want both. The only thing is that I love if there's one space for both parties to kind of put up all of the dub them one place, so I can really keep better track of them. But I especially want to see the manifestos because I want to see what people are planning. I want to hear details on them. I'm excited, for example, about what the PNP has said about like a rent-to-buy scheme building 130,000 homes. So definitely looking forward to the manifesto. We don't really have much time. September 3 right around the corner.
Like literally 16 days away, I think.
Yeah.
Finally, some of the artists are very upset about these dubs. They don't think that other artists should have been giving politicians dubs because they think dancehall has always been at the back burner for politicians. What do you think?
I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, and I think there's value in that kind of argument. But I also feel like even though there's a lot of hypocrisy in the society where politicians, business people, corporate Jamaica is concerned, where dancehall is concerned, you always have dancehall being used anyway, so the politician them cuss about dancehall cause the crime, but then you go to the rallies, them pull for all sorts of dancehall tune anyway. So I think this year it's just a little bit more obvious because we don't really have the rally them, so people are creating their own dubs and something with dancehall. So I feel like people are making food, the place been shut down, we don't have much dance and we don't have much songs that come out as usual. So if a man can make a food, you make a food, and the woman them make a food too, so yeah.
Thank you for being our guest today, Jaevion, and thank you guys for tuning in to this week's edition of Campaign Chronicles. I'm your host, Davina.